My son. Think I ain't spoke to my son. Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmama, his ass going to prison. If you goddamn keep that shit up, his ass going to prison.
T.I.'s worst nightmare is unfolding right in front of him. And the craziest part? He saw it coming. Back in 2022, the rap icon warned his son, King Harris, that if he didn't slow down and clean up his act, the prison doors would be waiting.
Stand by right here for me. 32, I'm 10 extend, 1 to 10. Spread your legs slightly. I just need to pat you down.
2 years later, those words sound less like advice and more like prophecy. King is now staring down the possibility of 5 years behind bars. And honestly, nobody should act surprised. The signs were all there. Reckless driving caught on camera, wild arguments popping off in public, flashing guns in his music videos like it was nothing. All of it was a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. And now, with King becoming a father himself, the timing couldn't be any worse. Instead of holding his newborn baby close, he might be holding onto a cold jail cell for half a decade. The turning point came in October 2024, the night King finally crashed out for real. He was behind the wheel of his flashy BMW, pulled out of a gas station, and nearly smashed head-on into a police cruiser. Talk about bad luck meeting bad judgment. The cops didn't waste a second. The moment they stepped up to his car, they smelled weed instantly. And then they spotted the gun sitting right on his hip like a neon sign screaming trouble.
Son, think I ain't spoke to my son. Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmama, his ass going to prison. If you goddamn keep that shit up, his ass going to prison. Ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing I'm gonna be able to do about it. Can't nobody stop it but him. You know what I mean? I've already had that conversation. I've already made my peace with it. Because I know that energy. I was that energy. I know exactly how it's going to turn.
At that point, it was a wrap. King was headed straight to jail. And when they ran his name through the system, that's when everything spiraled even further out of control. That old warrant from 2022 came crawling back like a ghost he thought he could outrun. Back then, King was caught speeding, driving on a suspended license, and slapped with a DUI. Instead of facing the music in court, he played hide-and-seek with the system. And that bad choice sat in the shadows like a ticking bomb waiting to blow. By 2024, it finally detonated in the worst way possible. The arrest footage that leaked online was a full half-hour spectacle, and it spread across every corner of the internet. Badge Chronicles, Vlad TV, you name it. Watching it was wild. Cops dragging him out of his BMW, unclipping that gun from his hip, slapping on the cuffs, patting him down, and sliding him into the back of a patrol car. The internet ate it up instantly. But what really shocked people was King's reaction.
Don't be in this. Wait till I come back in the market late night, and then it's just you, and I slap you up. Yeah. You trying to act off, son? We're not all through this. All like this in front of all your people. Tell your mama I said Happy Mother's Day. And then crying in my face and shit like.
He wasn't screaming, crying, or throwing a tantrum. He looked annoyed, sure, but calm. Almost like he knew the game was up and there was no escape this time. One officer even admitted later that King was polite and respectful during the whole process. And that only made the internet obsession worse, because people couldn't stop comparing his calm demeanor to the chaos of his lifestyle. Let's be real. When you're the son of a hip-hop legend, your mistakes don't just stay in the streets, they explode into worldwide headlines. One day, you're flexing designer fits on Instagram. The next, you're sitting in DeKalb County Jail with cameras watching your every move. For T.I., that moment must have stung deep. Back in 2022, when King first started spiraling, Tip went live and opened up about it. He wasn't just talking as a protective father. He was speaking as a man who had already lived that same story. T.I. once said it plain and simple. Time is gonna be his teacher. And now look where we are. Time has delivered King the harshest lesson yet, a possible 5-year bid behind bars. As soon as clips of King's arrest went viral, fans wasted no time digging up that old video of Tip warning his son. And the internet went into a frenzy. Some people swore T.I. cursed King by predicting his downfall, like he spoke it into existence. Others said it was heartbreaking, because imagine seeing your child's crash and burn coming years ahead and not being able to pull them off that path. Either way, one fact is undeniable. Tip called it from miles away.
Whisper. So what I'm saying is, they wasn't.
You can talk like that outside.
Hey, I can talk how the fuck I want to wherever I'm at. I'm on live, Shawty. Stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. This ain't your fucking restaurant. This ain't your fucking restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my pocket right now. I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out of my face. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you.
Stop talking to him, please.
Who the hell is he?
I'm working at work.
What's your name?
What's your name?
My name King. You know it and your mama know it. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. File your shit.
Come back.
What? On game what? On game what? Come here. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. Come here. Come on.
But here's the kicker. King's warning signs were flashing for years. Remember the infamous Waffle House fiasco back in 2022? That was the night everyone started whispering, "Yeah, this kid is headed straight into a storm." The footage showed King wilding out, screaming at staff over something tiny, trying to flex his status when the whole thing made him look spoiled and out of control. Even T.I. couldn't cover for him that time. He hopped on live afterward and admitted he was baffled, saying he couldn't understand why his son stopped what he was doing just to fight with a short-order cook. That moment was embarrassing and telling. And then came the gun madness. Who could forget the time T.I. and Boosie had to step in and literally check their sons on camera? King and Boosie's boy, Tootie Raw, were filming a so-called music video, but instead of spitting bars, they were surrounded by guns, flashing them like it was a trap house scene instead of a studio session. The clip looked less like rising rappers and more like young men begging for trouble. And trouble came knocking. That clip didn't go viral for nothing. You can literally hear T.I. telling them, "Why y'all even toting guns when you got girls right here?" He wasn't yelling. He wasn't cussing them out. He was laying down the game plan, the survival code he learned the hard way. Tip reminded them straight up, one wrong move with a gun or even drugs in the wrong place could snatch their freedom in a heartbeat. Fans actually gave both T.I. and Boosie props for stepping in, saying it was rare and refreshing to see hip-hop dads actually guiding their sons instead of pretending not to notice. But here's the problem. King didn't take it in. He heard the words, but they bounced right off him. What he craved was the image, the street energy, the clout, even if the danger was staring him dead in the face. And it wasn't just his public antics making noise. King's personal life had people gossiping non-stop, too.
A lot of people hit me up like, "King, I know you tired. You ain't getting no sleep." And the truth be told, before this look, I ain't been getting no sleep. You know what I'm saying? I just been outside working, lifestyle. You know, lifestyle just lifing. You know what I'm saying? And, but now I'm damn sure not getting no sleep. This up every morning, and then around the morning time, he like to do that little live concert I be doing with him. And, he like to walk around the house.
When word spread about his baby mama, the internet went crazy. The mother of his child, known as Big Nana, was rumored to be way older than him, and fans lit up the comments. Some accused her of chasing his family's money. Others straight up called her a groupie trying to secure a check. The age gap was a whole scandal on its own. But King didn't flinch. He doubled down with no shame. He threw Big Nana a full baby shower, posted about the pregnancy like it was the proudest moment of his life. And when their son was born in November 2024, he bragged non-stop. He even dropped a track called Dear Son, pouring his heart into the lyrics about stepping up as a dad. On Instagram, he proudly captioned a photo, November 5th, 8:09 a.m., welcome King Jr. For a moment, it looked like fatherhood might be the one thing to finally humble King Harris. The wake-up call that would force him to slow down and start making grown man choices. But life doesn't wait. While King was cradling his newborn, his arrest footage was making the rounds online, reminding everybody that the storm had already caught him slipping. The wildest part of King's saga is how predictable it all feels, like a script we've seen play out before. For years, fans, blogs, and even his own father warned him that the reckless path he was on would end ugly. From messy meltdowns to flashing guns like props, King wasn't stacking wins. He was stacking problems like trophies. So when that 2024 arrest hit the internet, it didn't shock people. It felt like deja vu. Every mistake, every bad choice, every ignored warning circled back and hit him all at once. That BMW stunt where he nearly plowed into a cop car wasn't just bad luck. It was the moment the ghosts of his past came knocking. Old warrants, reckless behavior, ignored advice. They all lined up to slam the door on him at the worst possible time. And what made it sting even more was the timing. Just weeks before the arrest, King had stepped into fatherhood. He was posting pictures of his newborn son, writing captions about stepping up as a man, even dropping his track, "Dear Son." For a second, people thought maybe he finally got it. Maybe this young dude was about to turn the page and realize life ain't about flexing cash, chasing clout, or pretending to be harder than he really is. But instead of stepping fully into fatherhood, King Harris found himself staring down a courtroom that could snatch him away from his newborn for 5 long years. That's what made this whole situation hit even harder. It wasn't just about King being reckless anymore. It was about a child depending on him while the world watched his downfall play out like a movie. The spotlight on him got even harsher, and fans online wasted no time weighing in. Once that arrest video spread everywhere, the reactions were loud and messy. Some people clowned him, calling it his street cred moment. One comment even read, "Man finally got his street cred. He been telling y'all he outside." That right there shows how twisted the culture can be, because instead of focusing on his baby or even his music, folks were celebrating a possible prison bid like it was some badge of honor. Others claimed King looked too calm during the whole thing, almost like he was enjoying the fact the cameras were rolling. Fans pointed out how relaxed he seemed while being cuffed, like he was already used to living under a microscope, judged by millions at every step. To some, it looked less like fear and more like he was adding another viral moment to his reel. But not everyone was dragging him. Some actually showed compassion.
Man, like you treat yours.
Why y'all got so much time, bro? Why y'all always gotta have?
What is it about
Man, it's not illegal to have.
Well, in the manner in which you're portraying in the lifestyle, it don't look legitimate, sir.
But I'm not supporting no whole. I'm not
Ain't do it.
I'm not.
What kind of parents don't support their kids in their goddamn slide?
Bigger than you.
Popping it. Is this a book there? So just go, the player pull up and they say, hey, who do you belong to? Who raised their hand? Somebody got to raise their hand.
I've been seeing him around through here a lot.
You gonna raise your own hand?
I've been seeing him around through my time. But when you got it ain't like it ain't. I know.
One fan wrote, "He gonna be fine. He been doing good since his son was born, so I'm wishing him blessings." Another even gave him credit for staying respectful with the cops, saying that's rare in viral arrest clips these days. So here's the question. Is King Harris about to learn the lesson his father warned him about years ago?
When y'all got around over me, they call it's not in possession of and commission of a crime, sir. That is a felony.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Or will this just be another chapter in a long list of mistakes? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll catch you in the next video. That's the double-edged sword of the internet. Half the world is clowning you, the other half is begging for your redemption. And with King Harris, that split has been loud for years. Some people see him as just another spoiled celebrity kid trying too hard to play street, while others see a young man struggling to carve out his own identity under the heavy weight of a legendary last name. And speaking of that last name, T's role in all this has the internet divided too. On one side, you've got critics dragging him, calling him a failed father. The narrative has been brutal. All that money, all that fame, all that wisdom, yet his son still spiraled out. For T.I., who's built his image as the OG dad, the wise mentor always dropping life lessons, watching King crash out in front of the world is a direct hit to his brand. The internet never misses a chance to call out contradictions, and now people are saying, see? All that talking, and he still couldn't save his own kid. That stings because T.I. has never pretended to be a perfect man, but he's always positioned himself as a guide. On the other hand, some folks are cutting him slack, pointing out that he did try. He warned King, he sat him down, he lectured him live on camera. He even used his own past as a playbook to show what not to do. You can't say Tip didn't try. But here's the cold truth. Being a father doesn't mean you can control every move your kid makes. And that's the pain here. Watching your son walk headfirst into the same traps you escaped is a nightmare no parent wants to live through. And don't forget, this wasn't the first time King had embarrassed his family. The infamous Waffle House fight back in 2022 was a mess. That clip went viral with people clowning him nonstop, calling him spoiled, entitled, and out of control. I went live right after, and you could hear the exhaustion and frustration dripping from his voice. T.I. was straight up baffled. He couldn't wrap his head around why his son would even stop to argue with a cook at Waffle House. To him, it made zero sense.
Man, get out.
So I ain't know
Get
Tupac
out!
was an actor.
Get out!
I thought that was a looking-like Tupac. And
What are you talking about? You never seen Juice?
Yeah, I did. I thought that was a looking-like Tupac.
What about when they say Tupac Shakur on the screen?
I ain't see that.
Come on, bro. What are you talking
I
about?
don't watch the credits.
How could you embarrass me like this?
And then came the gun fiasco with Boozie's son, when both rap legends had to step in on camera and school their boys about the same streets they nearly lost their lives to. Imagine that. You survive prison time, federal indictments, and street wars, only to watch your own son chasing those same flames like it's some kind of game. That's gotta cut deep, not just as a father, but as a man who tried to turn his own scars into warnings for the next generation. And yet, no matter how much frustration Tip shows, one thing has never wavered: his love for King. Even while the internet drags him, calling him a failed father and clowning his family, T.I. has stood firm in saying he'll ride for his son no matter what. He's made it clear. Disappointment might sting, but abandoning his child isn't an option. And if this 5-year sentence really lands, best believe T.I. will be in that courtroom, not yelling, not raging, but sitting there with the kind of pain no parent ever prepares for. Because disappointment fades, but the heartbreak of watching your child walk into shackles, that's forever. That's why this story is way bigger than just another viral headline. This is a real-life test for both father and son. For King, it's about whether he finally learns that time truly is the teacher his father warned him about. And for T.I., it's about facing the harsh truth that no matter how much wisdom you pass down, your kids will still choose their own path. Even if that path walks them straight into a cell. The wildest twist in King Harris's saga is how it's reshaping the way people see the next generation of rap royalty. Instead of carrying their parents' legacies with pride, a lot of these kids look more focused on chasing street drama than building empires. And with King, the story's far from over. But one thing is crystal clear: being the son of a hip-hop legend doesn't make you untouchable. It just makes every mistake louder, bigger, and blasted across the world for everyone to judge. By now, King Harris has turned into a walking headline. Every move he makes gets dissected and debated. His court drama only put a spotlight on what people were already whispering for years. His come-up hasn't been built on music. It's been built on chaos. And that's what makes this story so messy. He's not just another young man stumbling into trouble. He's the son of T.Y., which means every slip, every bad decision gets magnified 10 times over. The internet refuses to let him breathe. From the Waffle House meltdown, to flashing guns, to the baby mama drama, and now the looming threat of 5 years in prison. It feels like the world has been waiting for this moment just so they could scream, "We told you so!" But if we're being real, King's saga is bigger than just another celebrity kid spiraling. It's the clash of fame, family, and legacy colliding with the pressure to prove yourself in front of millions. He grew up with money, cameras, and opportunities, but also with a name so heavy, it could either crown him or crush him. Most kids could only dream of the life King Harris was born into, but instead of leaning on that privilege, he was desperate to prove he was outside. He didn't just want recognition as T.I.'s son, he wanted respect from the streets. That's why the internet clowning him about finally earning his street cred cut so deep. It showed the truth. King was chasing validation from the wrong crowd, even if it meant gambling everything he had.
You know what I'm saying? Kind of woo-saw yourself outside of the public opinion. Then I think, because I tell you what, I have the greatest, most extensive family photo album. I can document and I could go back to when King was Eris's age. I can go back to when Major was my granddaughter's age.
And now with a newborn in the picture, those choices don't just affect him anymore. They affect his son, his family, and his father's legacy. That's why fans are so split. Some argue King is just young, making reckless mistakes like any other 20-something, and with time he'll mature and get serious. Others claim he's too far gone, hooked on the spotlight, and that the only thing capable of slowing him down is a prison cell. The reality probably falls somewhere in the middle. King clearly has ambition. He's dropping songs, promoting himself, and trying to build a name. But the bigger question is, what kind of name does he want? Does he want to be remembered as an artist? As a father? Or just another meme the internet laughs at while judges decide his fate? Right now, the scales are tipping toward the last one, and that's dangerous. The irony is brutal. I has lived this story before. He's battled federal cases, survived the streets, and rebuilt himself into the image of a family man who turned his life around. He knows how fast life can flip upside down, and that's exactly why, back in 2022, he warned King that time is gonna be his teacher. And now, that time has arrived. T's warning wasn't just words, it came from lived experience. And now it feels like time is finally cashing in that lesson. What makes this sting even worse is the way the public twists it. When you're famous, parenting isn't private, it's a performance. Every time King stumbles, people don't just point at him, they point at Tip, acting like it's all his fault. They ignore the fact that T.I. tried to steer him right, sat him down, checked him publicly, even turned his own mistakes into teaching moments. But the internet loves a cruel narrative, and the one floating around now is brutal. I failed as a father. That's heavy, because it's one thing to watch your child spiral, but it's another to carry the blame from millions of strangers while you're still fighting for him behind the scenes. And make no mistake, I isn't absent. The bond between him and King has always been complicated but close. You can see it on their podcast. The jokes, the debates, the raw conversations. That's a father showing up, not walking away. Which is why if King really does get sentenced to 5 years, it won't just change his life. It'll shake the entire Harris family. For Tip, it'll feel like history repeating, watching his own blood go through the same system he fought to escape. And the ripple effect? King's newborn might grow up without his father during those first critical years you never get back. That's the part people forget when they turn this story into memes and hashtags. This isn't just internet entertainment, it's a real family facing real consequences. And the pain behind those headlines runs deeper than any viral clip. Some fans are clowning King hard, calling him spoiled, saying he threw away golden opportunities that most people would kill for. Others are more forgiving, reminding folks that he's still young, still figuring life out, and maybe fatherhood could actually be the thing that saves him. Those split reactions show just how polarized the world is when it comes to King Harris. Half the internet is waiting to see him crash and burn. The other half is quietly rooting for his redemption. And maybe that's the real story here. King Harris isn't just living his life, he's living it on stage under a blinding spotlight, with millions of people acting like judges, waiting to see if he flames out completely or finds a way to flip the script. The truth is, the ending hasn't been written yet. The judge could decide to make an example out of him, slamming down the full 5 years. Or maybe the fact that he's a brand new father will win him some grace. One last shot to prove he can grow up, change direction, and finally start building instead of breaking. Either way, the clock is ticking, and that courtroom moment will define him for years to come. This isn't just another viral clip or messy headline, it's a crossroads. And whether King Harris becomes a cautionary tale or a comeback story, all depends on the choices he makes next. So what do you think? Is King destined to crash out completely, or will fatherhood finally be the thing that pulls him back from the edge? One thing's for sure, the world is watching every single move. Don't forget to like, drop your comments, hit that subscribe button, and share this video. I'll see you next time.